It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors, beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I am part of something. What am I part of?
The Film Rage crew.
The Film Rage crew. That is correct,
Which
sir.
also includes...
It includes you there, Jim.
Hey, yeah.
It also includes Murray. I don't know where he is, though. Where's Murray?
Murray's in Vegas for his birthday.
Really?
Yeah.
When did he get there?
Monday? What's today? Tuesday? Wednesday?
Today's Wednesday.
Some Wednesday thing? He's there on Monday.
Monday?
Yep.
Just like the Mamas and the Papas song?
Yeah.
Monday.
Yeah, that's the Murman. He's singing with the Mamas and the Papas.
Nice.
Or at least Wilson Phillips, one of them.
Wilson Phillips.
It wasn't one of the Wilson Phillips, one of the daughters of one of the Mamas and the Papas?
That is true. Hold on.
To one more day.
Things come away. Hold on for one more day. All right, this is already falling apart.
Yeah. Now what? Oh, ready?
Oh, yeah. So with the introductions out of the way,
let's rage on!
That's it, sir.
Well, thanks to Open Sports. If you love our independent podcasts, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on our listening platform. Or
Yep.
join the Film Rage community at at buymeacoffee.com/Film Rage YYC. And if you can't commit to a movie, then you can dare us to see one. And if you can't commit to a membership, you can do that too.
Whatever.
It's the whatever.
We're just glad if you're listening.
It's the whatever episode.
I'm glad if you haven't shut it off at this
That's right.
point, to be honest.
If there's one person listening right now
Yes.
in cyberspace.
It's probably going to get better, but I'm not going to make any guarantees.
I am not making any promises. Although, I will say, we have 6 movies that we saw in cinemas this week.
Holy poop.
So get ready for a long episode. Although, Murray's
probably
not here. So
Murray's not here, and
Merman
I don't even remember half the movies we saw. So
the Merman 30-minute is
yeah, the Merman minute that always ends up
30 minutes
30 plus.
long. It won't last that long.
Yeah.
All right, we never get to this music, so
That's kind of cool.
This must be a reminder for us to move on.
Yes. Well, let's do that then. Oh, that's not the music.
Thank God Murray's not here to see all these errors. That's better.
I haven't done this in a while.
What the amazing moment?
Don't know.
What the amazing moment?
Don't know.
Will he predict the rage or will he predict the
He's not
mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies?
Not this week.
Better watch out, kids, because he's not here. He won't be coming swimming to you.
Sad face.
Sad face, sad face.
Wah.
Sad face, sad face.
Wah, wah.
Sad face because we miss a little merman.
All right, well, if Merman's not predicting, I guess maybe we should do some predicting.
Okay. Well, that's a good idea.
All right.
So
we haven't really talked much about any
of these. So except for one. So one will not be a surprise.
No, but it wouldn't have been a surprise anyways.
Yeah, maybe.
Wow, you're stupid, but you're not that stupid.
Okay, so Death of a Unicorn.
Oh, that was entertaining.
It was. I'm going to say you gave it a meh.
All right. I am going to say that you also gave it a meh. I think we'll both have very nice things to say about the movie, and at the end we'll go, it was meh.
Okay. Woman in the Yard. I'm going to say this made you rage.
I'm going to say that I don't think you hated it as much as me. I mean, I was sitting beside you, and I was really hating this movie. I think you found some stuff in it, but I still think at the end of the day, this was a crap movie, and it's a rage.
All right. Okay. Bob Trevino Likes It.
Yeah, this is a no-brainer.
This is a I am 100% guarantee you're giving this a Mondo.
And I already know it's like your favorite movie of the year. Spoiler alert, Mondo.
All right. A working man with.
Call him a working man.
Yeah. If only they would have had a Rush song in here, it might have made this a little better. I'm going to say there's no hope in hell that you gave Jason Statham's follow-up to a pretty good movie, The Beekeeper.
Yeah, Beekeeper wasn't terrible.
Yeah. I was hoping it was going to be a sequel.
I was hoping it wasn't going to be terrible as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying you gave this as a rage.
Yeah, this was an awful movie, and I know you gave it a rage. Because, once again, you're not dumb. Well, a little.
Oh, super dumb. What are you talking about? Okay, The Penguin Lessons.
Oh, this one is interesting.
I know it is interesting.
I know that we didn't give it a rage, but I'm
thinking you're going to give it a meh.
Yeah.
It's a biopic, so.
It is a biopic. It's a cute little movie. I think you'll also find some appreciation there. There's some funny bits, plus lead actor dude is kind of brings it pretty much every time. Yeah, Stevie brings it almost every time. I think he brings it every time.
We're going to talk about him later.
Oh, are we? Mm-hmm. I think you will also give this a meh.
All right. And then Cloud. This is one I think we made different. Now, this was a special screening that we got to see. And I'm thinking, I'm going on a limb here. I think you're going to give this one a Mondo.
Wow.
I know. Now, I'm not saying what it deserves, because you're going to find that out later, but I'm thinking you're going to give this one a Mondo because of the director.
I think that you are going to give this a meh.
All right.
So, all in all, it sounds like we had an okay week at the movies. Let's find out if we actually did.
It's kind of a mixed bag of tricks.
Yes.
All right. Death of a Unicorn. Now, we've been holding this one in our back pocket for a while.
Yeah, we saw it like 6 weeks ago.
7 years ago.
7 years ago? Was it that long?
7 years ago.
I don't think it was that long ago.
It felt like 7 years ago.
I saw it a long
I almost
time
had to go see it again because
I was
we
thinking
saw it
about
so long ago. It came as like a special Monday edition
some weird
surprise thing.
And we were like, let's go. Why not?
Yeah. Well, heck, why not? So, everyone knows this. There's rules to films. Universal rules. Like...
Oh, I missed my cue, by the way.
Oh, there's a cue? Yeah. Oh, you should be playing different music?
I should be.
Well, you know what? Just do like the... What are they called? The mix masters do. And
no. I do it hard and fast. It's just...
Oh, okay. There we go. So, anyway, where was it? Oh, yeah, rules. There are rules in film.
Yes.
Universal rules. Like traditional rom-coms have a set structure. Mm-hmm. That all French movies have nudity. And if a German film has a German sex party in it, which they mostly do, it's a party worth going to. Okay, so
True
I may have been proven wrong that maybe, I'm saying a very rare maybe, that French films don't have nudity.
They don't always have nudity.
Pretty much everyone has nudity.
A good chunk of them, but I proved you wrong last year.
You did prove me wrong, which we almost got nudity because there was dudes in underwear, but it wasn't like, I was disappointed because I'm like, the French, you can usually rely on their nudity. And what I say to that is, Vive la France! And the other rule, and you can check this or you can wreck this, is that unicorn films are guaranteed to deliver movie magic. And this film is no different. It's got lots of tropes we have seen a million times before. Monster movie tropes, dad and daughters that are estranged, and they have to bond over it, a dead mom, blah, 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 trope. But unlike with all the tropes, we got pretty okay CGI unicorns murdering people. And as one of the characters, who happens to admit that she is a size queen, says, with their girthsome horn.
Yes.
The humor in this was over the top and tongue-in-cheek, and it was just painting fun at the evils of pharmaceutical businesses and rich people. The cast in this was incredible, especially Shep, Mom, and Dad, and then, of course, Grift, the butler.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh my God, Grift is so good.
Yeah.
Now, Jenna Ortega and Paul Rudd were, they're just them, which they basically are just like they are usually in most of their films. They're okay.
They were fine.
There's not
They didn't take away from. They didn't
take away from the movie, but you could have.
They didn't make it better though.
They did not make it better, and I think we're both okay with Paul Rudd. Like we don't despise him. Jenna Ortega, I think we're a little bit hot and cold on her sometimes. I think she's a little one note sometimes, but they were okay in this. Like
fine.
like you said, they didn't take away from the movie.
No. They didn't add anything. They didn't take it away.
They just
net zero.
They were just there. For the most part, this is like any other monster movie, but we get magical unicorns, which is what we might expect. But this was it was a fun ride with unicorns magically bringing people back from the dead, killing people, and curing people of cancer. There is nothing that unicorns cannot do. That's the biggest one.
Yeah, of all the stuff you can cure. Cancer,
I don't know. They brought people back from the dead, so I think that's better than curing cancer.
Is it?
Well, I think so, because if you got cancer, you can still live, but if you're dead, you're dead.
Did they bring people back from the dead?
Yeah, they brought Paul Rudd back from the dead. And they brought everybody back.
I don't think he was actually.
They were
dead.
Bringing a lot of people back.
He wasn't dead. He was just like almost dead.
So, yes, like the rules of film, Death of a Unicorn was Mondo. No, I'm kidding. It was meh. Just like nudity in French films, sometimes the rules of the film aren't a rule, but more of a guideline. But the rule is it does follow the monster movie plot. So think Jaws, but with a unicorn, or maybe like Jurassic Park, but with a unicorn, or maybe Godzilla, but with unicorns. So unfortunately, sorry, magical CGI unicorns, you were not as good as you could have been. You were a meh. And I got a few unpackings, but what do you got to say about?
Yeah, I mean, the best part of this was the family. They made this whole thing worth watching. Will Poulter was awesome. Taya Leone was awesome. And Richard E. Grant is always awesome. I mean, he's always so good in every role. And he kind of plays the same guy a lot.
He does.
But he's very good at it. And he'll never let you down.
How to Get Ahead in Advertising is still one of my favorite movies of all times, and he is just brilliant in that.
So, and Taya Leone has never been better. I mean, this is somebody that you go into a movie going, oh, how is she going to wreck this? And she was actually one of the bright points of the movie.
That was one of my unpackings. I was like, when have you ever gone to a movie and said, you know what I'm hoping for? I'm hoping Taya Leone will be in this. Yeah. But after seeing this, she is fucking funny as hell.
She was very good in this. It was a fun romp. It really was. But there were some points where I'm like, and Paul Rudd and I think Jenna Ortega maybe did actually. I'm gonna go back and say maybe not net zero, maybe net minus a little bit. But I
don't know. They're just like, to your point though. They're kind of just in it. The story is really wrapped around the family that they go there for.
Yeah, and that's in there. They're just kind of placeholders. They're not really. Even though if you're gonna say who starred in this, they're gonna say, oh, Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega. But no, that's really not the case. No, is it? The stars of this were Poulter, Leone, and Grant, and Griff.
The butler was
Griff was so good. I don't know if you've ever seen the TV series Barry, but he's in it, and he's unbelievably funny in it too. It's Anthony Carrigan's the dude's name, and I need to see him in more stuff because he just makes me happy.
Yeah.
But the movie was a lot of fun. But it wasn't, by no stretch of the imagination was it a perfect film. And I was okay with the CGI at the beginning, but it got a little
I think it got a little tiresome at the end.
And I will say I hated the ending. Like, I really hated the ending. Does it need to be like a super happy ending every time? This was Death of a Unicorn with such dark humor.
Yeah.
And just dark. And we get this.
It was kind of, I don't know. I didn't hate it as much because they ended up killing the cops. So it's kind of, it was still dark.
I guess, but just the fact that he comes back to life and it just like.
Yeah, that part didn't need to happen.
It was just silly. So.
But I mean, that's the thing. It's a fucking magical unicorn.
Well.
How else can they prove their magic but bringing someone back from the dead? Like, basically, unicorns are Jesus.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. It was meh. I enjoyed it, but, it was good.
Yeah, it was a CGI fest.
CGI fest?
All right, so I think you got a button to press if you know where to press it. Let's see if Bryce knows how to press buttons here. Without the Merman, we're kind of lost. It's like we have like 10 buttons, and then
there's so many buttons.
Okay, you look for buttons. I'm gonna see if I can find our crackling.
I don't know. Yeah, for some reason we're getting a little bit of buzz, aren't we? Okay.
Any luck there?
Nope,
No,
that's not it.
Murray's. There we go. Bryce is on fire, people.
That's pretty good, right?
Oh yeah, not bad. All right, we got women. No, not women. Woman. Whoa, man. In the yard.
Yeah.
So, what's the matter? Got music?
I think it's me that's causing the buzz.
You're kind of sometimes give me a buzz.
Yeah.
You're electrically charged. So this movie had potential of making this an amazing story of dealing with severe mental health trauma and keeping it vague enough that by the end we could say, wow, this was a great original horror vision dealing with mental health trauma. Except that is not what happens in this. I mean, it starts out pretty great. Some very well shot visuals and a character building story where we have lots of time to build these three characters. Them being mom, a teenage son, and a younger, maybe 8-year-old daughter.
Sorry about that.
And they are all dealing with the recent death of the father. The suspense of putting the lady in the yard and having us being confused as to why worked, and I'm going to say for a very short time. But then they started throwing all this intentional confusion that for the most part made no sense. And then right up until close to the end, even with all the rules, and I'm putting this in heavy quotes, we are introduced to could be explained if they kept the mental health part of the story as the plot and made the story just about that. But of course, it's Blumhouse, so they didn't. They kept the whole concept of supernatural stuff, which conflicted itself multiple times throughout the film. I had so much hope for this, and really, it was a case of what can pull this out and make a fantastic ending. They could have saved this film a little bit by creating a self-portrait of our lead's mental health being manifested, but they didn't. It just couldn't save itself. It could have almost made it to a meh, but it didn't make it there, because what it did was had me question pretty much all the weirdness and looking at how they integrated the mental health side of the story with, and I'm putting the heavy quotes, ghost part of that didn't do well at all. So I'm sorry, Women in the Yard. You should have stayed in the yard instead of making me rage. I had so much hope for this. I was enjoying the whole mental health side of this story. In fact, I was really enjoying it. But then when they get to the end, it's another case where if they would have made it that the kids didn't have a clue what was going on, it was all in the mom's head, it could have come out, but the ending just got stupid. And it drove me to a rage.
Yeah, Woman in the Yard. I mean, it's a well-acted, very well-shot movie. It looks good.
Yep.
The problem is just the points you're making. There's these weird inconsistencies. It's like they make up a rule and then they don't follow through with the rule. And it just makes a whole mess of a movie by the end of it, where you're like, okay, was I supposed to ignore that? Was that all in her head there? Did any of this happen? It's very confusing by the end, because if it's to make any sense at all, you have to basically put there that none of this actually happened. Yeah. And they don't set it up that way, though. No. And they don't go there. So it's a very, very... It's a shame is what it is, because there's some good stuff in this, but it's so frustrating that at the end of it, you're just like, why? Yeah. Just why?
Yeah, there's been some really good movies, let's just say in the history of horror films, where you kind of don't know what's happening.
And that's cool.
Yeah, if they do it well. And they also have it that, it's kind of answered at the ending. It's not like an M. Shyamalan type ending. It's kind of the opposite of that. It's like you kind of know and see what's happening, but then by the time you get to the end, you're like, okay, this could be saved. Like if they would have done things. I don't want to spoil it, because some people might like this movie. I guess.
Well, and there's even it's a weird movie where they establish that they need to be in the dark. And then the kid turns on a flashlight. Yeah. And this entity ends up there because now it's in the light. Yeah. And nobody's saying, turn off the flashlight. Yeah. Like, just say, hey, kid, turn off the flashlight.
Yeah. And then they kind of go, but then they go in different directions in there. And it's just like they've lost all the, it was just like, what, now the people are missing? And like, it was like now we went out of the mom's head and into the girl's head, and it was just like it lost a lot of focus, and it lost a lot of credibility as the film went on.
It was a rage. It literally by the end made me angry because of the potential that was there, and they just wasted it. Complete wasted potential.
Yeah, agreed. What was that one? Remember the film with one of Murray's favorite actresses? That was she ran those old folks' homes. Remember I Care a Lot.
Oh yeah.
Remember? It's kind of similar thing to that, where, and it's not really because of mental health stuff was in there, but it was like it was going in a certain direction, and then the ending was just
in
like,
that it was looking like it was going to be.
It was going to be. It was going to be good, and then the ending comes, and she turns into a superwoman, and it's just like it was just like, what is, like, you were making a good movie, and then all of a sudden, wah, wah. All right, so Bryce has already spoiled this for everybody, but this movie is my favorite film of this year, and in fact, I've seen this twice now in cinema, because I went and saw it with Bryce. I'm not going to say when, but then I went back the next night and watched it with my wife. So
there you go.
This movie, I think, this is definitely making my top 10, and I will own this movie. I'm going to say right off the bat that this is a movie that I will go back to again and again and again and again and watch it. And I don't watch movies again and again other than Dawn of the Dead and maybe a couple other zombie movies. But this is one I definitely will watch. When I'm not feeling good about my mental health, or I'm feeling low, or this is a movie I'm going to go to.
Going to get your French steward on.
Going to get my French steward on.
What's the movie called, Jim?
It's called Bob Trevino Likes It. This film is one that does something that is very rare. It balances comedy with dread and friendship and healing and unconditional love, and makes one of the greatest heartwarming films I've seen since My Favorite Cake from last year. I absolutely, when I say I loved and adored this film, I am not kidding. When I wasn't laughing myself into tears, I was crying myself into tears from sadness, and then also from warmth and what true friendship can look like. We had a very lonely and broken young woman who has a dad that is probably the most narcissistic and horrible father that has ever been portrayed in a film. And so she goes online, and after her father disowns her, tries to find a replacement on Facebook with the same name, who ends up being the greatest thing that could happen to her in her whole life. And in a very short time, these two lost souls become each other's chosen family. That brings healing and strength to one another in a way that makes them grow self-esteem and changes them in ways they probably never thought were possible until they met each other. Everyone, and I mean everyone in this film, was incredible. The film, I can see being one of those films that everybody should see this film. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody should see this film. I loved it. Again, I think it's the best film of this year. It might make my number one unless something can beat this out. I just loved it. I have a bit of unpacking, but what did you think?
Pretty much ditto. This was such an enjoyable film, and it takes you on a roller coaster ride. You will laugh, you will cry, you'll just, and there's so much positivity that comes out of this film too. And it is one of those movies that if you're feeling down, this movie will lift you up.
Yeah.
It will absolutely lift you up, and not like a,
corny
rom-com way, a real down to earth way that's actually
changing
has
your
substance.
soul, changing your soul.
It will, and it's there's just so much good in this movie, and so much. It just puts joy in your heart, like it really does. And French Stewart has never been better. And he wasn't even the best thing in this movie.
Yeah.
But the fact that I hate French Stewart.
I know you do.
And he is so good in this.
He's so good.
My goodness, he plays the sleaziest deadbeat dad.
Most horrible.
He's just an awful, awful person, and he just nails it. I don't think anybody could have done it better. French Stewart, man, I didn't think you had it in you. But you got to talk about the actress the actor Barbie Ferreira.
Yeah, Barbie Ferreira. So she's actually a plus size model.
Yeah,
but you would not know that from looking at them. I mean, she did not have an easy life. She had a horrible life. There's the scene where she goes to the counselor. She finally, brings herself to go to the counselor, and she's just, everything that comes out of her mouth is just so natural, and it seems so real.
Yeah.
And she's basically telling her story, and she's kind of just going, yeah, but it was kind of my fault, and this and that, and going through it. And then they cut to the counselor, and she's bawling her eyes.
You know what the weird thing is? They cut to they cut to the counselor. She's bawling her eyes out. Me and you just let out like the loudest laugh because it was so funny.
It was so funny.
And nobody else in the theater was laughing. I felt like standing up and going, "What is wrong with you? This is hilarious."
There is a lot of funny in this, and just but the funny thing about it, and even with John Leguizamo's dad jokes, by watching it a second time, I highly suggest you should, if we didn't have 6 movies to see next week, I would say see this again in theaters, because every single thing that happens in this, it's one of those things that this director, and we'll talk about her in a second, but the director does things where they put little tiny things in the movie, and every single one of those things comes back later in the film. Yeah. There's not one thing that a seed is planted that it doesn't come back. So you see the counselor, and then you get to see the counselor again. The dad jokes are coming from Leguizamo. It's the inside joke between the two of them. And even when, I'm not going to say anything, but when she comes back and tells the dad joke to him, right? It's it's just these little tiny things. And then there's a scene where, he blows her mind, where he goes to the hardware store, and she was thinking, oh my God, he brought all these things to help me out, or she doesn't know this yet, and she's pulling out all her credit cards, and she's like, well, I have to put a bunch of different charges on them. She's got 10 cards, and they're probably all maxed.
Yeah.
And then she says, well, your dad already paid for it. And just the look on her face, just little things like that. Yeah. But during the checkout there's a scene where he's saying, do you have one of those flashlights that you wind up? He didn't want to have her have to pay for batteries because he knew that she didn't have money. And so 5 scenes later, she's in the basement.
And she's got her wind up.
She's got the wind up flashlight. It's like little things like that just makes this such an incredible story. And the director, if you can believe it, she hasn't done, I think this might be her first film.
By the way, little shout out real quick to Lauren Lolo Spencer as Daphne.
Oh yeah.
So I've never seen her in anything before.
Never either.
And she is also amazing. Like everybody was just amazing in this movie.
Short.
By the way, it's Mondo.
Oh yeah.
I never
you said
did get to
ditto.
that.
You said
I
ditto.
did say ditto. So yes.
Yeah, this is her first feature, it looks like.
Yeah.
There's mixed signals. Oh, no, it's a short too.
There you go.
Yeah. Also for her first feature to put something out, and she wrote it too. So
yeah.
I've not very often that we see one film from somebody and they instantly get added to my favorites, but I will be watching for Tracy Lehman for years to come.
This is so good. Go see this movie.
Yeah. No matter how you can see it. Like just go see it. Yeah. You got a button there?
I do.
That's it.
Mondo.
Oh man, you know how to press my buttons.
Tell you, I'm getting so good at this.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in like
Murray can
2
stay
months.
in Vegas.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, this one's going to be a real quick review. It's called A Working Man.
They call him a working man.
I want to say this is a Sly special. Sylvester Stallone special.
It's special, all right.
The 1980s called They Want Their Awful Plot and Rage-Inducing Script Back. This movie was horrible. And when I say horrible, as much as when Bryce goes to see a movie where he's squirming, this made me squirm from like the first 5 minutes. I was squirming in my chair, getting angry at the screen. I have never seen a film as bad as this. And I like Jason Statham. Like, I like him. He's one of those people that in the movie, it's kind of like, if Jason Statham's in it, I'm at least going to watch it.
Yeah.
I have nothing else that I want to say about this except this was a rage. I don't want to give this any of my valuable words other than the word rage. I fucking hated this film. It's horrible. This is the worst script that's ever been written, and it's got Sly Stallone 1980s written all over it.
It does. It's by the way, Sly wrote it. He should have directed it too. That would have been really good.
No.
So the movie starts, and honestly, I mean, it's very formulaic, and it starts, and the dialogue is so awful that initially I was having a good time. At the start of this, it was so bad it was funny for me, but that only lasted about 25 minutes, and then it got tedious, and then it got infuriating, and by the end, I'm like, why would you make this? This was god awful. Jason Statham, please, next time Sly Stallone picks up the phone and says, "Do you want to be in my movie?" just say no. You're better than this.
Yeah.
You are absolutely better than this. You can be big time action star. I like some of your action movies.
Yeah.
Just stop doing stuff like this and stay away from Sly Stallone.
Yeah.
The guy is just
everything he's done with Sly has been horrible.
Yeah.
Right? He did all those
Expendables and
garbage. Go back and hang out with Guy Ritchie.
No kidding.
Like, at least there's hope there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this was a huge rage, and there's no need to talk about it because it's just
horrible.
It's just garbage. It's absolute garbage.
This is like something you'd see
no
on
fun on
Tubi.
any level. Like, I can't imagine anybody going to this and getting their action on even. It's just like, it's so bad.
Can we say how much we love Michael Pena? And he was horrible.
Oh, God.
He was, like, I've never seen him act as bad as he was in this film.
The worst part is I couldn't fall asleep. I thought for sure it was the third movie of the night. I thought I was going to fall asleep for sure.
I tried to fall asleep. I tried. But my rage was too boiling.
God awful. Please stay away from
Yeah,
Working
do not.
Man.
Do
It
not
is
see a
not
Working Man.
good.
All right, but here's a movie that you probably should see. It's called The Penguin Lessons.
Yes.
This movie pulls out all the stops and has all the usual tropes. This is a bit of a tropey episode this week with a bunch of tropes going on that we usually get from biopics. I mean, it's got kids. Mm-hmm. It's got that are, learning a lesson. They've got the crusty old teacher who also needs learning as well.
Yeah.
As well as,
everybody
saving.
Comes out better at the end.
Yep. And it's got politics. It's got old ladies making a difference. Yep. And of course, it's got something that most biopics don't have, which is penguins.
Yep.
Okay. So not all of these tropes are necessarily what's making this film, but it does have some of these tropes for sure, especially with the kids and their typical subplot portion. Yeah. I got tired of the kids at the beginning. I was like, okay, when he first comes in and they do all that kids are assholes bit, that's been done so many times. It was kind of annoying to me actually when it first started. But I mean, it's kind of needed to bring you where you get to it. So yeah, that the kids part was kind of annoying. But this was funny and has the incredible Steve Coogan in this, whose dry wit and delivery is at the top of his game in this. The only thing that, is with most biopics, it has robust characters. Like these characters were all robust. Whereas most biopics, that's not necessarily the case. They'll have like one character that the story is about that is robust, but every character in this is super well developed. From the kids to the lead to all the secondary cast, what lessons do we learn? Many. But as a theme, we get that one person, or in this case, a penguin, who can change the lives of everybody that it comes in contact with. And sometimes the best counselor is someone who can just listen, allow ones to release their pain and sorrow, and also smell like rotting fish. He also happened to be a penguin that couldn't talk, so that helps. This has all the makings of most biopics in it, that it tells a story of this wonderful wounded man who meets other wounded people, and we get closure and healing and rehabilitation, but we also get these great characters that I fell in love with. And like most biopics, I kind of test this on the blubbering idiot scale. So if I got to a complete blubbering idiot, this could have made it to a Mondo, but it made it to a high mad because my blubbering idiot level didn't get there as high as it should have been for this film. Because apparently maybe it's because it's a biopic. So I really, 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 really liked it. It didn't get to a Mondo because I wasn't a complete blubbering idiot by the time I got to the end of it. So it was a meh. High meh, but still meh.
Yeah, the Penguin Lessons. As you say, it really is very tropey. It's a story that, even though it's based on a true story. I mean, there's stuff in here that I know didn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's very formulaic, and there is just, even though it's about a penguin, that's the only original thing in it. It's not original in any way. We've seen this story 1,000 times. As you say, everybody learning a lesson by the end, and they're all better for knowing each other. And at the end of it, you're like, yeah, but it was very well done.
Yeah.
Even though I've seen this 1,000 times before, It was so well acted. It was so funny that it was absolutely worth watching. And Steve Coogan, my God, I mean, he's never bad.
No.
He's always excellent. I really enjoy. I'm getting to the point where I see that he's in a movie and I want to see it.
Yeah, totally.
And it took a while, and I don't even know why it took a while.
I don't know if he's in a lot of films, though.
He's in enough.
Like we haven't, but I mean,
we don't get a ton though. Yeah.
Maybe we don't get it here. Maybe he's doing more made-for-TV stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because, I mean, even if you go back to, like, Hamlet 2,
Hamlet 2 is so good.
It's so good. So, but yeah, the Penguin lessons. I mean, and the Penguin. Let's talk about the Penguin. The Penguin's brilliant.
He was the best.
He was so good in this.
Of all the Penguins we've seen in this last year, and I
man.
think we've seen, this is like our third Penguin film.
It's at least our second. I don't think we've seen 3. But this Penguin and this one outacted that other Penguin so badly. It's ridiculous. Having said that, the other Penguin movies
It was pretty good too.
It was pretty good.
I have
it wasn't
seen that
as,
now. Too.
Yeah, it wasn't as good as this one.
Yeah,
But yeah.
they were both meh.
Apparently, if it's a Penguin movie, it's
gonna be a meh.
Yeah, it's gonna be a meh.
At least meh. No, at least meh.
Yeah, but yeah, this was meh. It was a very enjoyable meh. I also, I got a lump in my throat, but there were no tears coming out by the end. So
babbling idiot.
Yeah. So, but so good, and oh my goodness gracious, the
mother.
The mother.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maria.
Maria is the best. I mean, how do you not love this lady? Oh dear Lord.
Well, you're gonna hear more about that.
Yeah.
Coming up. So be aware.
All right.
Yep.
So yeah, meh. Really, really enjoyed it.
Nice. Awesome. Got buttons to push.
Yeah, I know.
We're like batting 1,000 today.
Did we agree on everything?
Yeah.
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 That's disappointing.
Both of us meh. Both of us rage. Hold on. Both of us mondo. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing when we I love it when we have a
rage
all out. I love it when
right,
one of us rages and the other one mondos.
So I was like right 100% of the time.
Nice.
I think you were too.
I was too, except I may have been wrong with this one, but we'll find out.
We will find out.
So this was a special screening we got with our friends from Cuff.
From Cuff? Oh,
yeah,
well,
you got some new music to play?
Yeah, let's play some Cuff music.
All right.
Let's just enjoy it for a second.
All right. It's groovy. Groovy, baby.
So you know how much we love Cuff? We even gave them special music.
They even have their own music.
Nobody else has their own. Oh, no, that's not true.
Sif also has
Sif has their own music.
Yeah, but, here's the thing. We are very connected to these film festivals because we attend them all.
Yes.
And we're lucky enough to know a lot of people at these two festivals. So check out CalgaryUndergroundFilm.org. Their festival is coming up April 17th to the 27th.
Mm-hmm.
They have a documentary festival this year, which will be November 19th to the 23rd. So go check out their website because you can see a lot of the amazing films they're going to be showing here in April, later in April. But we got to see the movie Cloud. So Cloud is a story of a counterfeit reseller who recently quit his tedious factory job, decides to make a go at full-time reselling.
Yes.
And maybe fake merchandise, but sometimes it was
sometimes
real.
it was, sometimes it wasn't.
Yeah. Into the Cloud. The pacing is very slow burn feel with an escalating frenzy of action, murder, and mayhem, where we learn great life lessons like don't trust women who seem that their only goal is to be able to quit their job and use your credit card. That would be a bit of a red flag for me. Also, and probably the best lesson, is that you can never, and I say never, put a price of the value of a good assistant. Like one that will, after you fire him,
and he's still got your back.
He's still got your back, and he will come back and help you. You just have to ask. Oh, also, that he will kill everybody to keep his job and help you make money. I really enjoyed this. The build was really slow build, but it just got a tad draggy for me because the finale, which I think... if it was maybe 10 minutes shorter, it could have maybe saved this pacing a little bit for me. The film could have been a mondo, I think, if they cut out 10 minutes of this. But because it felt that long and draggy as it went through it gets a very high meh. And I'm going to say mostly because like they kind of save all the action for the most part to the very end, which is normally okay. And it's a Japanese film. Mm-hmm. So usually Japanese action films have a lot of good plot and character developments, which this does. The problem that I had with it is that they're in a space that's not that big of a space. and they've got like all these bad guys, and it's just like it's almost like it's a video game. They're like, well, this bad guy's in this room, and then this other guy, so he has to kill. They have to kill the person in this room to move to the next room, but they're really in the same room. So I'm like, where are all these guys when all the gunfire's going off? Like, it was kind of irritating me as the movie was coming to the end. I was just like, all right, come on. Like, you kill one person, and then five minutes later, you go, oh, look, there's another person. Where were they hiding when the gunfight was going on? So I really liked it because I liked the build of the story, and I really did like the idea of the story, but I think it was a bit draggy, and yeah, it's a meh for me.
Yeah, Cloud.
Yeah, Cloud. Not
It
Cloud.
is.
It was Cloud.
It is a slow burn of a movie. There's no question. And
which you usually love.
And as I'm watching it, I was really, really enjoying it.
Yes. Okay. Good. Like
now,
me.
But as we got into like the 90-minute mark, and then finally stuff started happening, and then I actually wasn't as enthralled with the action sequences.
No.
A lot of it was okay. I like the very end of the movie.
Yes, it was great.
Which was great. But it really, to your point, I think it needed to be about 20 minutes less. It didn't need to be as long as it was. For the story it was telling,
yeah.
I don't know why we needed 2 hours and 3 minutes or whatever it was. It was over 2 hours long.
But it
did not need to be
Didn't all the
that
killings were just like that took up so much time.
Yeah.
They could have done that in like 5 minutes, killed everybody.
Yeah, well, and they kind of, I mean, the action's pretty concentrated. It's just bang, 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 bang. But yeah, they did drag that out a little bit longer than it needed to be. They also needed to, in the middle, they even need to cut out about 15 minutes. There was a lot of, like, I like a slow burn, but this was almost too slow at points where it's like, I don't think I need this scene.
Yeah, the pacing kind of slipped a little bit.
There's a few scenes where I'm like, I don't think I need this, and it's just making this a little tedious at this point. And then it completely redeems itself at the end,
which made it Mondo. I was right.
But then it wasn't Mondo, because you look at the whole shebang, and it's a high meh.
Yeah.
And it's a cool story, and it takes me into a world that I really don't know much about, because I would never buy any crap like that online.
I mean, you buy your fair share of stuff online.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's lots of people that just buy a whole schwack of stuff. They see it where they can get a good price on it, and then just flip it and see what they can do. I mean, people do it with houses, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
But it was really good. I liked it a lot, but it was a man.
Well, you got buttons to press.
Yeah. So I was 100%. You weren't.
I wasn't 100, only because I thought it was boring enough at times that you would like it.
Yeah, that's usually my kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, usually.
I do like really boring movies.
Yeah, super boring.
They're kind of awesome.
And there was a lot of walking in this.
There was a fair amount of walking. Do we have a Merman Minute, by the way?
No, we do not.
We don't have a Merman Minute even? He didn't even send you something?
No, he's too busy
doing what?
hookers and blow in Vegas.
Oh,
for his birthday.
Set aside some time for a Merman Minute.
Well, when has he ever done a minute?
That's true. Merman, 27 minutes. Well, anyways, so I guess we're moving on to...
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
Sweet rage. What love you so? All right, so I want everybody to get out their phone, get out your computer, get out whatever you can have to go online and search this. Okay, so Bryce, you're standing there. You can look up something while I'm pulling this up.
My computer's pretty slow.
It's slow, but so are you. So it kind of matches your personality.
That wasn't
Okay,
very
now
nice.
everybody pull the poster up for the Penguin lessons. So go to IMDb, pull up the Penguin lessons.
Uh-huh.
Now, by just looking at this poster, are you looking at the poster, Bryce?
No, my computer's slow, I told you.
Okay, well, you should be able to find it. Do you want me to find it
Well,
for
I think I know what the poster is.
you? Okay.
It's with the penguin like walking behind him, right?
No.
Oh, no.
No?
Oh, the other one?
Yeah. The main one.
There's two posters.
But there's a yellow one that is the predominant poster.
There's also the white poster.
Yeah, but the yellow one, the one that's predominant.
But what about
You
the
take
white
a look
poster?
at it. I'm not looking at the white one. I'm looking at the one that we saw at the movie theaters.
Was it at the movie theater? I
Yes,
don't
the
remember.
yellow one was at the movie
Where
theaters.
did I see the white one then?
I don't know, probably online.
Yeah.
All right, so
That's exciting.
now when you look at this poster,
Okay.
who do you think this movie is going to be about?
I don't know. I still have my computer slow.
Okay, so you're going to think it's about Jonathan Pryce
Yeah.
and Steve Coogan.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know the poster you're talking about.
So, but it's wrong. It's about Steve Coogan and Vivian El Jaber, who plays Maria.
Yeah, Jonathan Pryce really is kind of a footnote in this.
He's a footnote in this movie, but they have him on the freaking poster. They don't have her. Now, also, just try and find any information about Maria's character or Vivian El Jaber. Spelled Vivian and then E-L space Jaber. Now, just try and find anything about her. Because guess what? You won't find anything.
Oh.
And she really is the co-star of this film, not Jonathan Pryce. That's my rage. This is another situation where this woman, who was, in my opinion, on equal footing with Steve in this, isn't on the poster.
No.
They could have, you got a cute little penguin on it. You have a crotchety old grandma-like lady who's somewhat the comedy relief at times, but also she's the heart of this film. And she's not on the poster. You can't find her anywhere. It's just a travesty.
That is a travesty.
It is. That's my rage this week.
That's a good rage.
Is that Jonathan Pryce, as much as I love Jonathan Pryce, this movie isn't his movie. It's Stevie's and it's Vivian's. Like, get her on the fucking poster. And on your white poster, is she on that one too?
No, it's just Steve Coogan and the penguin.
Yeah. And
That's
it should be her.
And it's just the penguin following Steve Coogan on like a white background.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
You can find nothing about her. Like IMDb, whoever. Maybe she doesn't have IMDb or someone doesn't. But somebody should be promoting this woman because she's amazing.
Going into this movie, I didn't see any of the posters or anything. And I didn't even know there was actually going to be a penguin in it, even though it's called the Penguin Lessons.
You're right. Probably didn't.
I was like, yeah, I wonder what this is going to be about. It's definitely not going to be about penguins because what the heck? We just saw a penguin
We
movie.
just saw a penguin movie last year.
They're not going to put another penguin movie out this quickly.
That's right.
But they did.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's my rage. That's all I got.
It's good raging. Yes. My rage is, unfortunately, me.
That's usual.
I'm such a
Usually
dolt.
it's me that's raging about you.
I buy a pass for the Calgary Underground Film Festival, and Jim sends me repeated emails. Go, have you got your opening gala ticket yet? Have you got your opening gala ticket yet? And I'm like, why would I need to buy my opening gala ticket already? Because it's showing on 2 screens. There's no way it's selling out. I got my pass on Thursday. I'm like, Sunday morning, I'll get up in the morning and I'll get all my tickets for the week. So I got it all planned that for the Calgary Underground Film Festival, going to get all my tickets. The first thing that stares me in the face when I go onto the site is opening gala, sold out, both screenings. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, Jim's right. I am an idiot.
It's true.
So my rage actually is that Jim was right.
Which is, he's finally realizing
Yeah,
sometimes I get it right.
indeed.
Those one out of 100 times.
Yeah,
You should
well.
listen.
Indeed.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
All right, our lists. So if you have never heard our podcast before and you tuned in to hear what we thought of the Penguin Lessons or Bob Trevino Likes It or Death of a Unicorn, who knows? Go check out our website at filmrageyyc.com and go to our page called The List. On there, you will find 5 lists. You will find Mesmerizing, Repulsive, Doubted, Undoubted, and once mesmerizing, but no longer mesmerizing. And so the Mur gave us a film to watch for last week, and it was called... What was it called? 9 Months or something like that?
9 months, yeah.
Yeah. And he said, Jeff Goldblum is in it with Robin Williams.
So immediately I thought to myself,
I thought we lost Jeff
I
Goldblum.
think that Jeff Goldblum's no longer on the mesmerized list. So then, being the smart young man that I am, I went onto our website, looked at the lists, scrolled through all the people that are mesmerizing, and guess what? Jeff Goldblum is not on that list.
And then you
So
scanned
then
the
I
one-
very intelligently did not watch 9 months. What about you, Jim? Did you do the same?
No. And so what I did was I watched the movie, which stars Hugh Grant
Yes.
and
Back when he was rom-com central.
and what's her face? God, what the hell's her name?
I don't even remember.
It's Julianne Moore.
There you go.
Yeah, and they were both repulsive in this. Like, repulsive. Like, you and I have talked about how much we love Hugh Grant now. And that we've talked about, maybe we should go back and look at some of his earlier films to see if he's truly mesmerizing. Because he's been mesmerizing for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
By far. He crushes everybody in his wake.
Yep.
Well, I can 100% tell you that even if Jeff Goldblum wasn't off our mesmerized list, he would be after this movie. And the same thing is with Robin Williams. He's horrible in this movie. And the two of them, the two leads, are also horrible. Like, I mean, outlandishly horrible. And I remember seeing this.
It really is such a stellar cast.
It is. And they're all horrible.
They're just in a very, very bad movie, and they brought nothing to it. Like, I remember watching this. And this is
you don't
just
remember
trash.
it as well as
Oh, no, I don't,
remember.
because I've forgotten most of it.
I
But
saw it when it came
I remember
out.
I remember it was awful. That's all I need to
It's painfully awful.
Yes.
So, needless to say, we don't have to worry about Jeff Goldblum anymore. But what I want to put forward
Yes.
is I want to put Steve Coogan on as mesmerizing. Can you see why he shouldn't be mesmerizing?
No, I will honestly say that whether it's a drama or a comedy, or he is always the guy you're going to be watching when he's on screen. There's no question.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree.
All right. Well,
Put him on.
He is on. And so, like, if we think of film that he's been in, he was in The Lost King.
Mm-hmm.
Just picking things recently, obviously. He's been in a lot of TV stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Trip.
Oh, The Trip, he's so good in.
The Trip to Greece.
The Trip to Greece,
Greed.
he's so good in.
Professor and the Madmen.
He's kind of just playing himself in The Trip. And
Unfortunately, he's in Holmes and Watson, but we won't hold that against him. He had to get some money, I guess. Stan and Ollie.
Yeah.
He was in Irreplaceable You, Ideal Home. He plays a recurring character in Despicable Me franchise as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, okay, I'm glad that you agreed.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one I also want to bring up Eric Roberts because we talked about
For
him
what?
last week for Doubted. Like
Oh, for
Eric, yeah.
Well, he's in 9,000 things. How can he even keep it straight? There's no way I've seen any of them. I'm not gonna. If I gotta sit here and watch like 9 or 8 freaking Eric Roberts movies.
Yeah, but we've made this rule before for people that are doubted. We don't have to do that.
Well, yeah.
I mean, with this,
we have to have seen a reasonable amount, though. We can't just.
Well, like Murray, I've seen a lot of his films because I preview for film festivals. So, yeah, he is literally in every movie that's made every year.
Yeah.
And he's horrible.
He's that.
He's in a movie called The Arkansas Pigman Massacre.
Nice. Well, how
Kung
can
Fu Slayers.
How can the Arkansas Pigman Massacre not be a Mondo? Now I want to watch it.
It's coming. Oh, sorry. Maybe it's coming out this year. That's exactly. He's in like 72 movies in the last 2 years.
Yeah, well.
All he does is work.
I know. Well, that's why he's a tough guy to.
Okay, maybe we just got to see 2 movies in the last year.
Arkansas Pigman Massacre.
I kind of want to see
Kung Fu Slayers. I mean, just the names of his movies are awesome.
He was in Birdman too. Remember when we saw that?
Yeah. Company We Keep, City of Demons, When It Rains in L.A.
The one that he made, although he has to be in it for 5 minutes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is this?
There's a movie called The Confession, which is a French film, which is probably one that we might.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're in April. We're just going into April, and he's already got 9 movies out in 2025, of which I've seen 1.
Okay, well, let's watch The Confession if we can see it.
It's the one that's.
It's got a high rating. It's got a high rating in it.
Here's the thing: if it's okay, we're gonna do this.
Yep.
But we're gonna watch The Confession.
Yep.
Okay.
And if it's Mondo,
obviously he's off.
Yeah.
If it's meh, we gotta watch something one above or one below.
Now, I wonder if this is actually out yet because it says 2025 release.
That's a darn good question. At least it's not long. It's an hour and 33 minutes. So it's got that going for it.
And it's French, so it's probably going to have some nudity.
Yeah, that's what you keep on saying. It's got Hansel Ramirez in it. I kind of like that guy.
Yeah.
It might not be bad.
I know. You might make it all the way to Mondo.
It might.
All right. I'm not saying we're going to watch this for next week.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we can find it.
We're going to see if we can find it, and yep.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so basically, Eric Roberts is on deck for
right.
Doubted.
Yes. And hopefully, The Confession.
Hopefully, The Confession is just a rage and we can just stop this idiocy.
I doubt it, though. It's got almost a 9 out of 10. Unless it was just 9 people watched it, the director and the cast.
So do a bunch of Christian conversion films, so...
True
I wouldn't put too much into that.
I hear you.
Plus, I'm sorry. I just got to see the Arkansas Pigman Massacre. This is...
Yeah.
I think this is going to be...
The greatest movie ever
It might
made.
be. You know what the tagline for it is?
What?
He will gut you like a pig.
Is it a biopic?
I don't know, but it's put out by Bayview Entertainment, so how can it be bad? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, me neither. Oh my God.
Looks like it's maybe based on a true story. That's the mark against it.
Yep.
In 2004, 2 12-year-old girls embark on a camping trip in the remote woods with Big Brother Dylan. Wow.
All right, stay tuned, people, for Eric Roberts updates.
Yes.
And welcome Steve Coogan to Mesmerizing.
Yeah. That's exciting for Steve, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if anybody knows Steve, let him know. He's mesmerizing now.
Yeah.
He may not know.
He may not know.
Yeah. That's what we're here for. We're here to give the good information.
That's right. Help you know stuff.
Yes, indeedy. Is that it for the lists?
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Bryce pulled from Jim's evil bag of Debra Messing films. Wait, there's enough of those to fill a bag? Anyway, he picked the 2005 film The Wedding Date. This week, it's Jim's turn to rage or dare, or, if we're all very, very, very lucky, to Casey. Let's check in on our baby boy Bryce and see if he was wrong about his dislike of Debra Messing films. I mean, based on the discussion of her catalog of work last week, Bryce should love this movie. It has Dermot Mulroney and a pre-Talladega Nights, pre-Tenacious D pick of Destiny, pre-Enchanted Amy Adams.
What?
Dermot Mulroney. Come on, Bryce.
Dermot.
Dermot.
Oh, Dermot, why have you forsaken me? This movie
is Debra Messing.
Well, yeah, Debra Messing's in it, and oh my God, she's not a very good actress. Dermot Mulroney he's actually fine in it. He's very charming. I don't know what to make of this thing. It was kind of hard to watch. There's some weird scenes where they're playing some sort of sport that I don't even know what it wasn't cricket and it wasn't baseball. They were playing with some weird
Cracket?
I don't know what it was. Is there something called cracket?
I don't know. Just guys throwing out names.
But yeah, Amy Adams is absolutely repulsive in this. I don't know. I've never seen her in a movie where she was this young. She's probably like, I would guess 20, 21 in this, and oh, she's awful.
How did she get jobs after this?
But yeah, this movie it's not so god awful that you're like going, this is like the worst thing I've ever seen. It's nothing. Like, it's so formulaic. There's just nothing. Like, why are you making this? It makes no sense to me. You've got basically the whole thing is that Debra Messing's going as Kat is going. Anytime you got a character named Kat in the movie, you've already lost me. But so Kat is going back to have to go. She's going to a wedding, and Dermot Mulroney is like a gigolo that she's hiring to go to the wedding. You've never heard this plot before. Going to act as her boyfriend to make her ex-boyfriend jealous because he's going to be there because he's going to be the best man. Come and knock on our door. Like, this was like a Three's Company episode, but 90 minutes long and worse. I'd rather watch Jack Tripper fumble through. It's like, that's how bad
with
this
the
was.
Ropers.
With the Ropers. Well, at least you get those. Or Don Knotts. What was Don Knotts' name in the Mr. Furley?
Mr. Furley.
Yes, at least you get some funny facial expressions from Don Knotts. You got nothing funny in this. The only good thing in this was there was nothing good in this. This was not good. But it wasn't so off. Like, it's one of those movies where you're watching it and you know you're watching a total piece of crap, but it's basically just wasting your time. And that's how I felt.
It was eating away.
It was
at your
eating
soul.
away and it's like, how did this get made? There's nothing here. There's no standout performance. There's no funny bit. There's no character that's quirky and adds something. Like, it's so blah. You're just like, what are they doing? What is this?
And it seems like it should have been a made-for-TV movie on the Hallmark Channel.
It should have been on Hallmark or W Network or whatever. It was definitely had a made-for-TV vibe, and it was god awful. It was a complete and utter rage. And it's just such a waste of time. Like, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. It's just the most unnecessary movie I've ever seen. Like, there's nothing in it. It's like, why?
We've got ourselves a bingo.
Oh God. Yeah, this is just
You're welcome.
bad.
You know, we have to be careful what we say around each other, because you know what, that's been in my bag for quite some time.
Yeah.
When you were raging about Debra Messing on a movie from like 3 years ago, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna remember that. I'm gonna see if I can find some.
It's funny because we just watched a
I
movie with
know.
Debra Messing where she was actually the best she's ever been.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I got to watch this, and then I was thinking, well, maybe she's not as bad as I remember. And she's worse.
She's worse.
All right, what'd you pick? Who'd
I
you pick
pulled
from?
from Casey's evil bag of
You're
remakes.
a wuss.
Yeah.
You're a wuss.
Well, I've
You
had,
know what you're getting when you pick from my bag.
Yeah, well, yes.
But what'd you get from Casey?
I got The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Can you find it?
The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor?
The Mummy.
I am very confused right now.
Was this a movie that went to theaters?
Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. It's a sequel to The Mummy. I didn't know it was called Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
So who's
Brendan
in it?
Fraser.
So
It's
it's
a
number 2 or 3 or
I think it's one of
four,
it's 2
or-
or 3 or I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how
love
many
that.
they made.
I love Brendan Fraser. He's awesome.
Is he?
And what's her name? What's her face in it? Academy Award winning actress.
I don't think she ended up in this. I think they replaced her
Oh,
with
so it must
Maria
have been
Bello.
3. Oh, that's 3 then.
Here's the kicker though. You know who
Yes.
you do get?
Ooh.
You get Jet Li.
Oh, baby. That's going to be a Mondo.
How can it not be? Jet Li's awesome.
He's like literally the best Lee.
He is. And
L.I.
he's the only good part. Well, there's no good part in the Expendable movies, but
No.
he's almost watchable.
He's watchable in that, but
Yeah.
if you can
yeah.
blank out everything else that's
if
happening
you can
around
watch the
him,
3 minutes that he's in it and just not watch the rest, then
Exactly.
you've done okay.
then it's like
Then
a
it's meh.
3-minute show with Jet Li.
You've got 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Jet Li. That should be like
That's
a
what
podcast.
the subtext should
He
be
should
called.
he should have a weekly podcast that's 3 minutes long.
3 minutes with Jet
3 minutes
Li.
with Jet Li, and he's a good guy.
He's working hard.
He's a good guy.
He's hardy and working.
Yeah. Anyways, so you are going to see The Mummy,
The Mummy
which
Tomb
apparently was
the
called Tomb of the
Dragon
Dragon Emperor. I did
with
not
Jet
even
Li.
know that was.
I'm already looking forward to this.
That was a thing.
As much as I'm looking forward
Yeah,
to
I think
Eric
this
Roberts.
was the third one because I think you had The Mummy, then you had The Mummy Returns, and then you got this Tomb of the Dragon Emperor thing.
Dragger Emperor?
I don't know that I've seen this. I probably must have, but
Well, I'll let you know all about it next week.
sounds good.
Nice. Whoa. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. And thanks to the Extended Film Range family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer for the voice of Rager Dare and our God of Rage. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare to see terrible movies to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us rage. That's it for this week without our little merman. Happy birthday, Mur. Rage on.
Rage on.